Welcome to Channel 17, the Town of Colonie Government Channel.
Hello and welcome to Getting to Know You. I'm your host, Robert Jaquay. On today's program, we're going to be talking to Nick Saccone, who is the president of South Colonie Dollars for Scholars, and Marianne Chesky, who is the director of fundraising. South Colonie Dollars for Scholars is a volunteer community organization which distributes monies to deserving seniors in the South Colonie School District. Let's go meet our guests and find out more. Nick and Marianne, thank you very much for agreeing to be on the show today.
You're welcome.
Before we get into the content of what we're going to be talking about today, for the viewers, would you give us some of your background, how you got here?
Sure. I'm a Colony resident all my life. Went to Colony High School, and I work at Metro Ford in Schenectady. And how I got here is one day I went in for a school bus vote, and I was asked to come to a meeting, and then I got involved in Dollars for Scholars.
You got hooked.
Got hooked.
How about you, Marianne?
Well, I'm a Colony resident also. I have been an alumni of the high school. I am a maternity nurse in retirement, and I was asked by Ross Budenhagen to consider looking into the group, and through Dennis Cafaro I came to a meeting and started doing fundraising. They had seen me do fundraising at Jaquay and thought I might be a good fit for the group, and so I joined.
And you've stuck with it.
I have.
She's done a great job for us.
Thank you.
Now we're talking about South Colonie Dollars for Scholars, but it is a part of a larger program, right? It's a nationwide program.
The national organization is Scholarship America.
Mm-hmm.
Scholarship America is the largest not-for-profit scholarship organization in the nation, and Dollars for Scholars is one of their programs. There are 1,200 Dollars for Scholars chapters in the United States and over 100 in New York.
100 in New York. So how did Colonie become affiliated with the program?
Well, basically, back in 98, 99, during the 50th anniversary of Colonie being centralized, a group of alumni got together and did a fundraiser for a scholarship. They raised about $10,000 and started the Colonie Alumni Scholarship Fund. They were giving $500 a year, and after a few years, 2002, they were wondering how long they were going to be able to stay in existence, and they were looking to broaden it a little bit. And somebody came across some information on Dollars for Scholars, and they looked into becoming a Dollars for Scholars chapter.
Good thing, right?
Absolutely.
Good thing.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what is the Dollars for Scholars program? I mean, what is it about?
Well, what we do is basically we fundraise, and we try and bring as many scholarships into the high school as we can. We go out to businesses and organizations in the community, try and get them to sponsor scholarship. We have a lot of memorial scholarships. People who have lost a family member and want to keep their name out in the community have scholarships for them. And our designated chapter high school is Colony Central High School. So all our scholarships do go to Colony High students.
Now you started out, you said, I mean, it was quite humble. I mean, it was, I have here information that you had 3 scholarships back in 2003, but it's grown significantly.
Well, in 2003, we actually only had 1 scholarship.
Oh, okay.
We had the alumni scholarship, But a couple of our students won national scholarships, which were under the Dollars for Scholars umbrella without us doing anything really to get them. So we ended up with $3,500 that year. And we've grown since then. In 2004, we had $2,550 in scholarships, and they were all scholarships that we got ourselves. 05, we had 17 scholarships, $11,750. And in 2006, we had 32 scholarships. We gave over $20,000.
That's incredible.
This year, we're on the road to hopefully 20,000 again. We're at 19 now. We have over 30 scholarships. Last year, we were the single largest volunteer source for scholarships at the high school at the awards banquet.
So there must be a lot of attention paid to this, and you know, I mean, this is an opportunity, and so there must be a lot of applicants when it comes to this.
We wish there were more. It's
really?
It's so hard to get the kids to fill out applications. Last year was our best year. We got 85 applications. Before that, the year before, we only had 30. And when you have around 500 kids that graduate, it's surprising that more aren't trying to do applications and get the money.
I should say so. Well, hopefully this will help a bit.
I hope so.
Well, scholarships, the kids spend all fall working very hard to get the applications in for college. They go on break and they hit like this wall. And when they come back and it's scholarships time, I'm sure if you have children you know, they think that our belly buttons are ATM machines, and so they don't realize the funding necessary for scholarships for college. And so they rely a lot on the parents, and that's why we're out in the community trying to educate the parents and the students, because there is over $1 million in untapped scholarships annually in the United States because kids don't think to try. And some of them are as bizarre as get a better pudding recipe and you can win this money, and they don't realize that the money's there. Your library itself has books this thick on scholarships,
Right.
and probably they're not taken out a lot because
Not like they used to be.
no, and so that's why we're out here trying to promote the message and make awareness there for the children and the parents, because we even had scholarships since 2005, since I've been with the organization, that kids didn't even apply for. We had to go to find them.
Wow.
So we're definitely doing better and we're gaining momentum and attention, but there's a big untapped resource out there, and we're trying to let the kids know we're here.
Well, I certainly hope this helps. Do you have, I mean, I know there's got to be certain students, though, who are really, this is in their mind, you know, they pursue them. So do you have a particular student who pursues multiple scholarships? Is that possible?
Oh, absolutely. Our application, they can fill out one application and apply for all of our scholarships. And it just goes by whatever criteria the scholarship is. We have a checklist at the front that they can check off which scholarships they're applying for. And we try and make it as easy as possible for them. There's some of them that have specific essay requirements.
That's probably one of the difficult ones with the essays, right?
Well, they all have an essay.
Okay.
We require an essay on all of our scholarships, but it's not a real hard essay, and we're just asking them for a little bit about themselves, what they did special in their lives, and but there are some other ones that ask for some specific criteria. Some of the
private memorial ones.
Private memorial ones. I went through I looked through the application and saw them, and yes, it's a simple to check them off, and I was checking to see exactly what they represent and what you have to do. So, I mean, has in the past someone gotten multiple at awards night, received multiple scholarships, right?
Sure,
Yes.
absolutely.
Now, what makes this, you know, this program unique?
Well, it makes it unique because, first of all, we are under the umbrella of Scholarship America. They've set up a network of collegiate partners and matching partners. The collegiate partners will take our money and not reduce their financial aid package. and the matching partners will actually match our funds, and so they get double the money that we're giving them. Some of the colleges that people know would be Siena, College of St. Rose, RPI Union, Lemoyne, most of the SUNY colleges, Clarkson, Syracuse, and there's multiple colleges and university nationwide.
So you've actually forged an agreement with these schools, and so they recognize this is something that they can apply to the total cost. So the collegiate, they actually reduce, and the other one they match. Is that correct again?
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. They don't reduce their financial aid
they
package.
don't.
They
Okay.
do not. So
Okay.
that
It's like invisible money. They
Right.
don't see it.
Okay, okay,
So it doesn't change a financial aid package.
I see.
Sometimes as little as $50 can change a financial aid package by thousands. So by looking at our money invisibly,
I understand. Thank
right,
you.
they don't change a package for a child, and if they are a matching school, they'll match, and the ceiling is, I believe, $2,500?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Each college has a different amount that they will match.
Mhm.
Now, you're talking about partnerships. I mean, on not only the state and local level, but we actually go nationally as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is that? How do you define a partnership?
Well, the college partnerships, the matching and collegiate partners are all set up through Scholarship America. So they're all done through the national organization. They've also have financial partnerships. One of the biggest ones is AXA.
Okay.
AXA Equitable is a huge sponsor of Dollars for Scholars, and they give a lot of money for scholarships through the Dollars for Scholars chapters, as well as they are there at every one of our conferences and give scholarships out to the chapters that go to them.
How are you structured? I mean, do you have a board? It's volunteers who are doing this, right? And you take various components from the community,
Mhm.
right? How are you structured in terms of the number of people that are involved in doing this whole process?
Well, we have, the regular officers, president, vice. We have 2 vice presidents, secretary, treasurer. We have 13 board of directors,
Okay.
and
We're
then
governed
we
by
have-
bylaws.
And we have committees that do the work, and
So at a certain time of year, every one of you gets a stack of papers, or do you do it? What's your process?
well, our process is that the scholarship applications have to be in the end of this week.
Okay.
And our awards chairperson takes all the applicants, makes copies of the applications, masks them so that we don't know whose application we're
Nice.
looking at, makes copies for each of us. We take them home and we spend hours and hours reading them. We score them, and then we meet and talk
For
about
the award. Oh, great.
who gets each award.
Time-consuming, but worth it.
Absolutely.
I think, too, what makes us special is the dedication and the passion that we have on our team. Being an alumni myself, I have a real sense of pride of being a Colony graduate, and having returned here after my college and marriage, to be such a part of a unique group, and it's been such a blessing. Supporting the future generation in their quest for learning makes it all worthwhile. As they succeed and return to Colony themselves, Colony succeeds. So it's a big thing of giving in, giving back.
Giving back.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
I notice a lot of Colony kids come home. So,
That's also nice. I've heard that. you
Yeah.
know. What a nice cycle, anyway. So volunteerism is clearly a core element here.
Absolutely.
requirement.
Absolutely.
Without the volunteer team, we wouldn't survive.
Now, how do you go out and negotiate also? I mean, is part of your responsibility to go out and actively seek funds? In one way, I mean, you want to get the word out. You'd like to have more money, obviously. With the partners, are those established through the national that they work with you, or do you actually go out and talk to schools or talk to businesses and to get them to become a sponsor?
A lot of our local businesses have become partners with us and have sponsored scholarships from us going in and asking. And literally, all we had to do was ask, and most of them say, sure, we'd love to sponsor a scholarship and help someone go to college. We have multiple. Capcom was our first business partner. They sponsor a $1,000 scholarship, and Newcomer Cannon, Metro Ford, Albany Fire Extinguisher came on the next year, and we've grown so much since then.
And an individual can also do it, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I have gone out to all 8 schools in the district.
Okay.
As a nurse, I believe in community education, so scholarship awareness and trying to promote us has led me to all the PTAs, which in turn led to private donor scholarships from several different families. So I went for one reason, trying to have different schools maybe consider sponsoring a class from kindergarten to 12th grade. And I ended up with families coming up to me after the meeting and saying, well, we have Grandpa, we'd like to do this. And so I ended up getting scholarships that way, which was totally unexpected. It wasn't the goal of my going, but it was definitely a blessing. We definitely are out there in the community working with the schools. We are about to sponsor a scholarship awareness night with the school to try to promote the scholarships, just like the PTSA promotes financial aid night. We're going to be doing a scholarship night.
Okay. Now, you know, affordable, really, I mean, it's all relative, I know. I mean, it's a lot of money to some people, but basically you say, you know, for X amount of dollars, you can become a sponsor, and it didn't seem, you know, huge to me. What is that figure?
Well, as little as $250 can start a scholarship at our organization. It's a named scholarship. It can be in memory of someone or to honor a special day. Our annual pass-through scholarships is what it's called. And the donor doesn't have to make a commitment to pay right now, just a commitment to do the scholarship. So last fall, you could have started a Colony Library scholarship at the school for someone going into that field, and then you commit to pay it in the spring. So come May 1st, we expect payment due on the scholarships. So it gives families that are private donors an opportunity to advance that money forward over the months instead of a one lump sum.
So it's a pledge, actually.
Kind of, yeah, and as little as $250 is all someone needs to get started. We do, of course, love larger donations. We definitely like them, and we have a full team that's ready to talk with people about larger donations, to do funding through our AXA network, to have perpetual scholarships, and we're willing to work with anyone. I myself am a private funder of a memorial scholarship, and I just pay it every year.
Yeah.
And it works wonderfully.
Well, I think getting somebody to participate is an important thing, but you don't go right at them and say, we want you to do this for the rest of your life.
No.
But I would think that when they realize the value of what they're doing and perhaps the joy of the student who's receiving it, that just is the incentive for them to do it again.
Well, that's why our pass-throughs are called annual, because you're only making the commitment for that current year, but I'll guarantee you I'll be knocking on your door in the fall.
So what kind of scholarships are available?
Well, there's a number of scholarships. We have scholarships for medical research, healthcare. We have nursing, technology, engineering, automotive, graphic arts, business, fashion, public safety, criminal justice, law enforcement, education, physical education, elementary education. We have scholarships that are earmarked just for Hudson Valley students.
Okay.
We have some that just have no specific career criteria, but maybe for volunteerism.
Outstanding character or whatever in the
Absolutely,
community
absolutely.
involvement, things like that, civic type of things.
Absolutely. Our Capcom scholarship is called Make a Difference. It's for someone who's made a difference in the community. and they're out there.
Now, so with your checklist, you have people who actually say, well, I want to do something in this particular field, so this is the one for me. But I want to repeat this. It probably pays to look through them all to see if maybe you, apply to something else. Because you, as in your determinations, if someone even hasn't, correct me if I'm wrong, if someone hasn't chosen a particular category, would you say this person really should be in this particular category, or no? Do they have to actually select it?
They really have to select it.
Okay.
We have looked at some and said, geez, that
Only if they did this, right?
that person, that student really would have fit that criteria had only they
Yeah.
selected it. But we also have scholarships that come out after the applications go out, and for those, we consider everybody.
Okay.
Because they don't have the opportunity to choose those scholarships.
Okay, so they're just distributed through some other criteria, right?
Well, whatever the criteria is that the donor sets.
Right, right. And what happens too is, like, if a student doesn't check off anything, that's an incomplete application. They need to check off one.
Okay.
But even my scholarship the first year, no one applied for mine. So then I had to look through all 82 of them to find, and some of the kids mentioned the 2 majors that I was looking for.
Okay.
And so, because I had a different scholarship 2 years ago, and I said, well, that kid matches mine, and they didn't win in a different one. So I said, well, I want these 2 applications, and now I'm going to choose between these 2. So it can happen that if we see maybe no one applied for one, we would review all to see if someone is good for that one. And like Nick said, all of the ones that come in after the fact, we review every application and see if any of those kids fit that criteria and automatically put them in it.
Okay. Is there any way to communicate back to the applicant at all, or do you really try to keep it as anonymous?
Anonymous.
Yeah.
Once they've handed it in,
Once they
there's no
hand it
need
in.
to.
So there's not saying,
Right.
maybe next time you could do this. Well, you're only dealing with seniors, right?
Right.
There you go. So
right.
there won't be a next time.
Yeah.
This is it, folks.
But the kids don't realize most of the scholarships that we have are geared towards the 80 and above student.
Okay.
A lot of kids, when they're going into this scholarship process, they think only the smarties are getting the scholarships, and we don't base it on that. Most of our scholarships are based on an 80 or above GPA.
Okay.
They're also based on needs, some of them. And a big thing for us is we want kids that have community service, and not the assigned kind from their generic clubs that they're in.
Right.
We want that kid that does all these other things on their own, and it's not part of their NHS or their Key Club requirements. We're a community service organization, so we pride ourselves in looking for the children that also give back to the community.
So volunteerism on their part, just
Right.
by their own initiative. They're people who go out to the community and give back.
Right, and the Hudson Valley ones are definitely based on need and the GPA. So it's a really good thing for those kids that feel they don't fit into
Yep.
normal scholarship requirements.
Yeah. Now, we're close to the deadline for this year, and this won't air until after that, unfortunately. But how does a student find the application?
They're at the high school counseling center.
Okay.
We also have them on our website. We have a very comprehensive website. It has all of our information on it. It has our application. It has all our scholarships. And we also have links to the other scholarships as well that are out there, and the websites that have all the scholarship references.
Yeah, well, I'm going to follow that up. Well, let's give the website address.
www.socoloniedfs.org.
Okay, and we're putting that up there, so there. Yes, I noticed when I looked at the information you have there that you have links to other sources, which I think is terrific.
Well, we're out there to try and bring as many scholarships to the community as possible. We do as many as we can, but we also want the students to know that there's a lot more out there, that there's a lot of untapped funds that a lot of our students can get.
The online, experience is very real, and kids are really acclimated to that. So, if we can get them to your link, then they can possibly explore more, which I think is terrific.
And we're also linked through the South Colonie Schools website, too.
Okay.
And that's www.southcolonyschools.org. And they link us to them. And the kids can also, up until the deadline, they can contact us with questions.
Okay.
But once the
how do they do that?
Through the website, there's
email?
a contact webmaster, and they can contact us that way, and they can ask us any questions. Or when they go to guidance, sometimes the ladies will tell them who to call, because they all know us over there. But they definitely have a way to resource us if they have questions regarding the application or the questions.
Okay, so there's no reason whatsoever they shouldn't be able to get an application, right?
No, no.
And
Shame on you if you don't.
And they can download it right off the website.
Right.
Terrific. Funding also. Do you do fundraising? She laughs. Go ahead.
Well, before I do the fundraising, I just wanted to take a moment to list some of our scholarships,
Oh, yeah.
if that's okay.
Okay, please.
Nick mentioned all our businesses and our organizations, but our memorial scholarships, we have the Kathy Kirk-Patrizio for someone who's doing healthcare or medical research. Thomas Fawnin is for a senior who's currently in track or in the art program. You can find the details for that. The Justin Mirabile Scholarship is for a technology student pursuing a 2 to 4 year degree. David Scarinda's scholarship is for pursuing engineering. Edward Frank is for pursuing law enforcement. We have the Milton Flood Scholarships, which is a new offering this year, and that's for anyone who's on the boys football, who was either at Pop Warner or the high school level, or the girls varsity basketball. The Jermaine Jesowitz is for a tech student who's also an athlete. The Mary Bridget Fernald Scholarship is for any student with a strong community involvement and service background pursuing a 4-year degree. The Lawrence A. Bach Memorial Scholarship, that's new this year, and that's for a current music student who's performed all 4 years at the high school, who is pursuing a 4-year degree, and they will give preference to students who've used their music to service the community, and that's donated by the South Colonie Friends of Music. We also have 2 scholarships honoring very special South Colonie staff. The Dr. Thomas A. Brown Cecil B. David, it's for someone attending Hudson Valley, and it's based on need.
Okay.
And also the Joni Thomas Lauren Fetzko Scholarship, which is for someone who's pursuing teaching, and it's based on need too. That is in honor of a teacher who went above and beyond. So, and it's from a family. So it's very nice that we have those offerings. As far as fundraising,
Yes.
I am the fundraising coordinator, and it's my job with my team to raise the money that DFS has. I joined in 2005, and we're able to turn all the money that I raise, mostly, into scholarships because our operating expenses are very minimal. We all work out of our homes, and we meet once a month at the district offices in South Colonie, so we're not paying rental fees or anything, so it works really good. We've been fortunate enough to work with several PTAs and businesses in the area. We've had 2 annual McDonald's nights. Last fall, we had our first annual McBoo Bash, and we had Hamburglar and Grimace. I had to think of their names, it's been a while, and they were there for the children, and we offered a Halloween parade at the end of the evening, which a lot of the schools have gone away from, but I had all our volunteers stand at the doors. We kept it safe for the kids. It was inside, not outside, and they had a parade, and we had costume contests, so we will be doing that one again. It was a big hit. And for 2 years, we've worked with the administration of Macy's in Colony Center with their community shopping day, and we have worked with them where 100% of the proceeds come back to us. And this event has been our major source of non-memorial funding. But that's my job, and we have lots of offerings coming up in the spring, and I'd like to tell you a little about
Please
them
do.
if I could. Our fundraising initiatives for this spring under my team is that we'll be selling water at this year's high school musical, It's Little Shop of Horrors, and that's going to be March 22nd through the 24th. We've decided that half of the proceeds raised that night will be used to start a memorial scholarship for next year's offerings in honor of Corey Womack. Corey was a senior who was supposed to be the plant in the musical.
Wow.
And so he was tragically killed 3 weeks ago in an accident. So we're going to do that for him.
Oh, wonderful.
And if we don't make enough on the water sale, then we'll give all the proceeds, not just the half. But we also have our McDonald's night. We have our spring one. It wasn't as, I don't think it's going to be the same as the McBoo Bash, but we'll see what we can do. I have a good team. This year we're trying something new. We're having it at the Wolf Road McDonald's, and it's going to be on Thursday, May 10th from 5 to 7 p.m. We'll be at the car show. We do a raffle at the high school car show. It's in May, but I'm not sure of the date yet. We tried to secure a date, but we're not aware of one yet. And then our big fundraiser for the spring is the second annual Family Fun Day at Colony Central High School. It's going to be Saturday, April 28th, and Dollars for Scholars is the benefactor this year. They're going to be celebrating student achievement, which graduating and moving on, of course, is part of that. Last year, you may recall that the first annual Colony Family Fun Day was in honor of Lindsay Norville,
Right.
who was the girl that needed a liver transplant, received it, and this was to offset her medical expenses.
Right.
Well, this year Lindsay's back, up and running, and this was always her dream to run an event similar to Niski Days, so she is going to be running it, and I'm going to be helping her along with a big team at the high school. There's going to be lots of activities going on that day. They've told me that the Raider Classic's going to be that day. They're changing the date of it, and they're adding a kids run to it. The PTSA is doing the craft fair that day and a bloodmobile. But, I mean, there's going to be so many events. If you want more details, it probably would be better to check out the school's website or ours, because we'll be having more information as we get it. There'll be raffle offerings again like last year from numerous donors, and one major prize like last year. I didn't secure a car this year like I did last year, but the prize is going to be big. It's going to be exciting. Dollars for Scholars is trying to offer prom-themed raffles this year, and thanks to our partnership with the administration of Macy's Crossgates, we know one of our raffle prizes already. Macy's Crossgates is going to be offering us a $400 value prom gown of the winner's choice and a free prom day makeover on that day. They won't have to come in the week before, and the consultation. The prom gown is from Macy's Crossgates' new Junior Premier gown line, and they are the only Junior Premier dress department in this area, second only to Herald Square in New York. So they're very excited that this is up and running, and so they decided to help us because the manager who left Colony Center and we worked with there went to Crossgates. So we have a good partnership with them. You won't find their dresses anywhere else in this area. They will be offering the prom registry for the girls, so there's no duplicates. And they also will be giving, it's a big deal to them. And they'll also be giving Dollars for Scholars, I found out this morning, passes for their Friends and Family Day, that is May 2nd. And we will be giving them out at the Family Day, complimentary, no fee, no nothing, but I will have a bucket there, but that's okay. And they will be able to get that to take and use on that day, the May 2nd date, for any of their shopping needs, or maybe shoes to go with the gown if they win it. But we're going to try to keep our offerings prom themed. But other departments within the school are also doing offerings too, as well as the big raffle.
My guess is you're going to fill that bucket probably more than once.
I try. I mean, the numbers speak for itself. They asked me to do a job, and I think I've tried to do it, and I don't do it alone.
Yeah.
There's no I in team. But I'm definitely a pit bull when it comes to doing things, so I think that's helped a lot.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Overwhelmed and impressed. I think it's
does
terrific.
that mean I can get a scholarship?
We'll talk later, all right? I knew that was coming somehow. Now, we talked about how you know, what the amount was for basically, for $250 you can have a scholarship. How does one go about doing that? You know, getting in touch with you and
contact any of us. Our contact information is on the website. I can be called at home. My number is 452-1173. I'd be happy to talk to anybody. Email, if that's what your preference is also available through the website.
Come see us at Family Day. We'd be more than happy to talk to you that day, too.
And we also welcome the public to our meetings. Our meetings are the second Wednesday of the month at the Colony District Office on Laurel Drive.
Right.
We're always looking for people to come and join us and help us not only with financial donations, but volunteers.
That was a
We're
segue into
always-
volunteerism. I
we're
was going to ask you to go
always
for it.
looking for people to join us and work with us. It's you don't have to be a Colony alumni. You don't have to have a child in the school district. And if you do have a child in the school district, that's not a problem either. Some people are worried, well, if I'm part of the organization, my child's not going to be eligible for a scholarship.
Yeah.
But the only thing for that would be when their child is a senior, they will not be part of the selection committee. We have a limited selection committee anyway.
So you're careful about that, plus you do the blind
Absolutely.
assessment, which is good. And
Yeah, only our awards chairperson knows the name of the children. Last year, there were 6 of us, 82 scholarships, and that doesn't include all the ones that go out to the families for them to pick their winners. Families can pick their own winner.
Oh, really?
They can leave it up to us if they're too busy, or they can participate. We're very user-friendly that way. But like this year, my daughter's a senior, so I can't be on the scholarship committee, but I'd know her essay right away. But she's already getting my money, so but whatever she can get from Dollars for Scholars, of course, we definitely want, because her school is a matching school, so it's like, but that's the only criteria really, is to stay away when you're a senior parent. But we have grandparents on our committee that have no kids even in the district, and they're not alumni. You don't need to be an alumni, you don't need to have a kid in school, you just need to want to help kids.
How wonderful. I'm enthused. Now, you do give the awards out at the award ceremony. When is, and that's a little bit down the road, but when is that?
That's Wednesday, May 23rd.
Okay. Is that a ceremony that's open to the public?
It is.
Yes.
It's beautiful. When you walk in, you get a program, and it has every award listed, but not the winners. The parents are, it's funny when you see a new parent, they're going, looking for their kid's name. The insert with all the kids' names is handed to you as you leave.
Uh-huh.
And anyone in the district can come. It's open to the public. It's at the MUG, which is the multi-use gymnasium
Right.
at the high school.
Right.
And it usually starts around 7 or 7:30, I believe. So we're looking forward to that this year. They gave out $1.7 million in awards last year. And out of that, like full tuition scholarships, whatever, like Nick said before, we are the largest donor of funding other than all those awards.
How wonderful, how wonderful. Now, you have a brochure, and I have a stack of them here. And where can they find these brochures?
Here at the library, of course, at the high school. They're in the counseling center, and I believe in the library.
District office.
The district office has them.
Okay. So there's information there. There's information on the. If someone misses this, there's no excuse as far as I'm concerned. And I'm certainly hopeful that our conversation today will, bring up some more interest and enthusiasm and more competition.
You
Sure.
know, it's a double-edged sword, because last year when 82 scholarships were stacked in front of me, I went, but this year I'd like there to be 164. I'd love it to double. We're here, we're willing to do the time and read everyone's essay, so get them in. And if you miss this year, then make sure your little brother or sister does, and parents keep an eye out, because this is it. This is the biggest game in Colonie right now, is this scholarship organization. All the other scholarships are on the guidelines that the school puts out from all the other community organizations. But with one application and a check-off process, we're definitely user-friendly.
And the counseling center is very good promoting our
Good.
scholarship, as well as the other ones.
I would hope so.
And they've given us a lot of support over the years. and the high school giving us Family Fun Day was just awesome
Major
this year.
achievement. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's wonderful to see how this whole thing has grown. We're at the end of our show today, so is there something you'd like to say before we close, or have you said it all?
Just that we're out there for the community and for the students in the high school that need us, and we need as much support from the community as we can get.
Well, Nick and Marianne, thank you very much. I mean, this is exemplary volunteerism as far as I'm concerned, and thank you very much for that. And I really, wish the best of luck to the success of this program, and we'll spread the word here absolutely. So thanks
Thank
again
you.
for
Thank
coming.
you very much for having us.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining me on this edition of Getting to Know You. I hope you enjoyed today's show and will join us next week. Until then, have a good one.